Hello YouTube, Brent Peeler here with you. Coming to you from the Philippines on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Just sitting here chilling in the pool, relaxing. So glad I got a place with a pool. This is a game changer, it really is. I like the location of my old place, but this pool really gives just regular boring days, a little boost. So highly recommend getting a pool if you're over here in the Philippines. But because boredom is one of the main things I struggle with here in the Philippines. Just no other way, or anywhere really. Even back in the United States, I struggle with it. But it's a little worse here because you're in a foreign country. You got different rules that affect you. You can't. There's certain things you can and can't do. And of course, when you're at home with your stuff, there's always something to either improve on or work on, or whether that be your house, the farm, just anything. Being over here, you don't really want to put a whole lot into something that you're just going to walk off and leave. So you don't really get into the mode of wanting to really fix anything up or anything like that. So that's probably my biggest struggle, really, is boredom, and not just here but everywhere. Especially the last few days. So I had a granddaughter turn 1 year old, and I've been looking at the videos and stuff of her growing up. And she was only a few months old, probably 4 months old or so when I left. I left in January, and it's middle of October, so that's every bit of 10 months. So going and reflecting on that, it just makes days hard. But you got good days and bad days, no matter where you're at. But it just gets you to thinking about home and that kind of stuff. And that's what I was going to talk to you all about is missing home and being so far from home. That is probably the two biggest things that I deal with. The being so far from home, and when you're somewhere, that's where you're at. So I know I could get home in 24 hours if I had to, probably. But luckily I don't have any emergencies or anything like that. But you just if you go to thinking about it, it really goes to wearing on you that you're so far from home. You're half a world away, no matter how you look at it. You are if you think this globe is round or flat, you're a long shitting ways from home. Either way you look at it. So that is one of the major drawbacks. Even there's plenty to do here in the Philippines. I'm not arguing that. I mean, you can go out on adventures. You can go check out new spots. There's tons of stuff. And once you get out and go to looking, it's exciting, and just making yourself get out is kind of the hard part for me sometimes. And having plans change, plans cancel, stuff like that. You go to looking forward to something, and then something happens, and it just, you wasted a whole day waiting on one thing, and it falls through. But it's all up to you on how busy or how whatever. But just the same old grind here in the Philippines. It gets old, especially if you've got family and stuff at home. And I do. I've got a wonderful family, and I miss them. I really do. And I've been thinking when I'm going to get back there. It'll probably be before Christmas, is what I'm thinking. My favorite holiday is coming up, and that's Thanksgiving. But I really don't see myself going back to the United States before Thanksgiving. Probably shoot for Christmas, be a more realistic goal, because like I say, I'm going to Thailand on the 4th, and just being able to do that is an awesome help for me. Just to change the pace. It's a whole new country, and even though it may not be but a week or 2 or 3, it's up in the air. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% committed to hell. I don't even know how long my buddy's going to be there. But that last little reset I did when I went to Thailand, it's exactly what I needed. But I stayed there a month, and that started getting old. No matter where I'm at, I'm gonna bitch about something, and so even if I was back home, when I get restless, irritable, and content or discontent, and I want to do something different. But when you're back home, you know, it's everything's kind of familiar to you, so that can be a good and a bad too. So is the Philippines the perfect place to retire? Well, it just depends on what you're looking for. You will not find prettier women willing to date your old ugly ass anywhere in the world. I mean, that's the Philippines. I mean, let's be honest. That's why lots of people come to the Philippines, is looking for relationships and that sort of stuff. But you got to think too. Are you here? Are you going to be able to stay away from wherever you come from for that long? Because a lot of the truth is that a lot of these girls can't go to the United States. I mean, even if you was to marry one, that I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it can be difficult. I know lots of people that have took them back, and lots of people says never take them back. But in my case, like I say, I've got kids in their 20s, and I miss them. So it would be nice to, if you had one that you could take back with you, if you know what I mean, or at least have that option. But a lot of these girls, you know, you hear all the time that, you know, that they just want to go to the United States. Well, I haven't found that to be true at all. I know. Matter of fact, I've only met a few that would even consider going to the United States. These girls, this Philippines is home to them, and they're plenty content just being around family. You know, we gave up a lot of that family vibe back in the West, but they haven't given it up here. So the closer they are to home, the more they like it. You know, and I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying that makes part of your decision making. It gives you something to think about. In other words, how I wish the Philippines was right next to the United States and Mexico. You know, if this was a 3 or 4 hour, well, it would be run by now. Let's just get that out of the way. The Philippines is what it is because it's so far from the West. Thailand, Philippines, these, I wouldn't say as much anymore, but these faraway destinations are still unique because, you know, so few people pull the trigger and come over here because it is fun. It's probably a 24-hour plane ride for me. You know, it's at least 5 or 6 hours from Texas to San Francisco or Los Angeles, then another 12 over to the Philippines, and you know, just depending on how they want to route you, it could be an 11-hour flight to Korea, and then another 3 or 4 to here. So it just depends on how you go. But after all the layovers and whatnot, it's at least 24 hours getting over here. Unless you're, even if I flew direct from Manila to Dallas, you know, I would still have a 3 or 4 hour car ride to where I live in Oklahoma. So it just makes it hard, and it makes you really. On days when you ain't got nothing going on, you really, or I do. I go to missing home, especially around holidays and stuff like that. So keep that in mind, and that's what I've got to watch myself with, because I'll get bored, and if I'm bored for a week, hell, I'm planning a trip, or I'm just doing some random shit that I might regret and I might enjoy. But I've really got to watch myself, because if I get bored, I go to look at plane tickets. I was looking at trips home the other day. Of course. Not until, you know, I was just randomly putting in dates. I tried some in November, some in December, and, you know, a few days later I was over it and feeling good again. But it's just, a guy needs something to do over here, and I just hadn't really totally. I've got a few things that make my routine that I enjoy, and I've got room for some more, but sometimes I just don't feel like doing nothing, and that's probably the worst thing in the world that I could do is nothing, because boredom to me brings on bad habits. You know, hell, I didn't smoke till I come to the Philippines, and with the price of cheap cigarettes and me being bored. Hell, I started smoking again, and I hadn't kicked that habit yet. I need to kick it. Now I've got still on these vapes, trying to juggle the two, and that just makes it worse. I think if I'm going to quit, I'm just going to have to quit cold turkey and not do any of this. But yeah, there's things I need to look at. Tonight's Wednesday, or today's Wednesday, so it's quiz night. I'll go to my little quiz, and that's always usually my favorite day, you know, because that takes up 3 or 4 hours just hanging out with other foreigners and doing a little music quiz where you guess they play some tidbit of the song, and you guess the artist and the song title and year and that kind of stuff. So I do enjoy that. But you got 6 other days that you got to do something. And I've been going to Boho for 2 or 3 days a week, but I didn't get to go last week. So it's been 2 weeks since I've been over there. So that's got me kind of in a funk where I feel like I hadn't been out on an adventure. So looking forward to I'll be going to Boho again tomorrow. Going to be there till the 20th, I think. Spend a few days over there, and I'll come back and I'll have a whole new look on life. But at the same time, I just highly suggest you finding you some hobbies that you really enjoy. People go to the gym. I'm not really a gym guy. I am down to 194 pounds. I hadn't been 194 pounds in a couple of years, so I'm proud. I'm getting to where I need to be. Once I get there, maybe I'll go to the gym and try to tone up a little bit. But right now I'm just watching what I'm eating and doing several push-ups a day. But other than that, I'm just kind of doing my little 1 meal a day deal, or trying to most days. And so I feel good about that. I feel good about, you know, I've got good friends over here. I do have that. I really enjoy going up to Valencia, and even if it's just going. My coffee shop's been closed for the last week, but I went there today, and they told me they're going to be open tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that being open again. I can just go there and just sit and watch the people walking by and stuff. And Valencia is finally back to normal. All the tents and stuff are gone from the little street. You always see all those tents and stuff by the Saban or whatever you call that, by the Red Table and Paco's Tacos and that kind of stuff. So it was nice, you know, with all them tents there. It sure made it harder to get to, but at the same time it made it more interesting when you was there, because there was just tons of people walking by all the time. Sometimes too many people, but most of the time it was just right, you know, just people strolling through there doing a little shopping, and I like people watching. I really do, as long as there's not too many people. So I'm kind of glad it's back to normal, but at the same time I'm gonna miss when it's slow. I'm gonna miss watching there's still people you can watch, because you know the park's right across the street, but it sure made it nice, you know, kind of giving you something to do. You get bored, I just go up there and just chill out. There are several sports you can get in. There's pool all over that. I mean, people play pool a lot here. They've got tennis courts and all that kind of stuff. But I just hadn't found the right crowd or whatever that gets into that. And so, you know, I'm just trying to find my knack, find a good routine, or to improve my current routine, if you will. So just keep that in mind. It's a long way from home. Hell, I've been missing Mexico. I hadn't been to Mexico in, I guess, right at a year now, and that's probably the longest I've been away from Mexico in a long time. And you know, it's right next door, a 3-hour plane ride, and I'm in Cancun, you know, sipping on a virgin pina colada, just chilling with my peeps down there. But the Philippines I'm not ragging the Philippines. I don't want y'all to get that impression. I'm just saying it can get it can get kind of lonely over here. Even if you got a girlfriend, if you know, you're used to your people, and you're used to not even your people. Even if I was home, you know, my kids are either working or in school, so it's not like I would be with them anyway. But it's just the familiar, you know, whatever. I would probably be going up the walls, driving myself crazy, bored if I was there right now. But at the same time, you know, you go to missing them on certain days. Some days are worse than others. Some days, but keep that in mind, especially if you're a family man coming over here, or because we only get to do this so many times. You know, I read a deal somewhere saying after your kids are grown, you know, you've only got so many days. Most people, you know, their kids move off and only come visit 2 or 3 times a year. Times how many years you're going to be alive, that's less than 100 visits, you know. So when you think about depressing shit like that, it'll get you down. But of course, me, I live close to my kids, so hopefully I'll get to see them more than that. But seeing that granddaughter turning 1 really just kind of got me thinking, and missing home a little bit. So I just wanted to share that it's not all rainbows and butterflies over here, and it's not all bad. It's a pretty good mix of, I mean, this is a beautiful life. It's just a long ways from home, and it can be hard. It can definitely be hard. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about pulling the trigger coming over here. This is a perfect place, especially for a lonely old man that don't have family, people that do have family. You just got to juggle it and kind of let everything balance out. And thank goodness for these for Messenger and technology. You know, it's a good and a bad. You know, it's kind of ruining the Philippines, but at the same time, it keeps you in touch with your loved ones back home. So I know I'm just rambling on here. I'll get off here. I just thought I would tell you, you know, the truth about you know, missing home and being so far away. But anyway, that's all I got for now. I've got nearly 3,200 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. You know, less than a year ago, I was looking at 200 subs. So YouTube channels in the Philippines really do good. I will give most of the credit to just the location of where I'm at and the success of this YouTube. It's come in really handy, and it's kept me. It's given me something to do when especially on just regular days. I can break out this camera and talk to y'all, and I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate I appreciate. I wouldn't call myself a YouTube superstar, but it feels pretty good when you see when you're sitting eating, or when somebody walks up to you and say, "Hey, I watched your channel, blah blah blah." You know, it kind of makes. I've even had people come pay for my meals, and when you're talking to this little stick like I'm talking to right now, you don't realize all the people you're reaching until you get out and about, and some of them come up and introduce themselves. So I appreciate each and every one of you watching. If y'all hadn't subbed already, hit that sub button. Hell, it don't cost you nothing. Like I say, nearly got 3,200. Like I say, I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Brent's Tripping. Peace.